Hi everybody, happy Thursday. Welcome to Lunchtime Live. Um, so I know we're all pretty worn out today with all the election stuff and it's been an emotional roller coaster, but the truth is no amount of worrying and watching and obsessing is going to do anything at all right now. There is nothing we can do right now to, well, most of us, to affect the results at all. So let's take a break. Let's focus on crochet. Let's have some fun, and then let's go from there. So, what do I have for you today? Well, this week on the blog, I have a new hat pattern that just came out. Let me make sure the streaming is on here. I'm just logging in. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So I've got a new hat pattern that is a knit pattern that just came out, and I don't have it to show you. Normally I like to show you the sample, but I don't have the sample today, so I've just got the picture. And the reason that I don't have the sample is because I made this for somebody as a special order. And so they have the hat now. So that is why we don't have the sample to show you, but that is the hat. It is the Cotton Candy Stripes hat. And as always, I will put a link in the description. Today we are only broadcasting live to YouTube. I'm hoping that gives me some better image quality without having the two competing streams going. So I will be posting this on Facebook later, and I'll put all the links in the comments there, but if you're watching on YouTube, I will add it to the description as soon as the video is over. So that is the new pattern this week, and then we also have the new Scrappy Stitchers link party. Now I've noticed that interest in that seems to be waning. We're getting the same couple of people over and over, but I don't think a lot of people are looking at it. So I'm going to finish out this year, but then I think that link party is going to go away in January. If you guys really love it and you don't want me to get rid of it or something like that, just tell me. But otherwise, my plan is we will have a November link party, which is currently up, and then we'll have the December link party, and then we'll just call it quits with the Scrappy Stitchers link party. You guys do have the Scrappy Stitchers Facebook group where you can also share all your stuff. And I think people are tending to share there more rather than going to the link party, and that makes sense. That's totally cool. So that's why I'm going to be pulling that. We'll try and find some other fun features to put on the blog instead of that every month. So that is the new post for this month, for this week. Now, this is also the last week to enter the giveaway for the reading glasses. So, oh, I gotta show you again because I think they look so good on me. I don't normally like myself with glasses, but these ones I like a lot. Anyway, so the reading glasses giveaway ends in just a few days. I hope you guys will all go and enter. Even if you don't yourself wear reading glasses, you can get a pair for somebody you know who does. It would make a good Christmas gift. They have all different styles. And honestly, it helps for, like, even if you don't need it to read or you don't need it all the time, it really helps as almost like a magnifying glass to look close up at stitches, especially if you're working with dark yarns or anything like that where sometimes it's hard to see. I highly recommend getting a pair, you guys. It's like magnifying glasses that sit on your face. I love mine. I actually wish I'd gotten a stronger one. I got the weakest prescription because I was like, I don't need it. I have prescription lenses, right? But honestly, I did not know what I was missing till I got them. So readers.com sent those to me, and you can get a free pair too if you win the gift. I will again put the links in the comments and in the description. And that's about it that's new right now. I don't have anything particular planned for next week. I've got a blanket pattern that I'm going to get out soon. I'm just not quite sure if I can get it out next week. And that's about it. I might do a tutorial. There's a few tutorials that I've got backed up in my head that I want to do, so I might do one of those next week. Otherwise, yeah, I'm pretty much, next week's gonna be a slow week for me. I piled a lot into the last couple of weeks, and I think this week might be a little bit slow, but let us get back to our demos. We've been working on an in-depth look at crochet cables, and so far what we have done, and let me, oh, I think I lost the feed there for a minute. Let me get that feed back. Connect. Allow. There's my feed. Okay, so what we've been working on so far, we took a look at how to make post stitches, the front post and back post stitches, and how to basically arrange the cables. In this cable that we're doing here, I'm not working the cables on the wrong side row. I'm working all single crochet on the wrong side row, and then the cables are just on the right side row. So this was the first section. What we learned is making the post stitches, and then we learned how to make them move last week, excuse me. And now I'm going to show you different ways to make them cross each other. And this gets to be a lot of fun because there's a lot of different things we can do with it. So first I'm doing the back side row. Just to refresh everybody, we're just doing single crochet all the way across on the wrong side. Okay. Now, and that's 8 stitches. Now remember when I talked about how to make the cables move, I told you that where you pick up the cable from determines where the bottom of it is. The stitch that you work it in place of determines where the top of the cable is. So these 4 cables, the top of, or these 4 post stitches, the top of them right now, they're the 4 middle stitches of my pattern. I've got 2 stitches here, 2 stitches here, and then 4 stitches in the middle. I'm actually going to keep that. What I'm going to change is which bottom I pick up first, okay? So I'm working the 2 single crochets to get to the middle, and now I'm at the middle 4 stitches. Here are my middle 4 stitches on top, and here are my middle 4 cables. Now I want these cables to be here and these cables to be here. So the first cable I'm going to pick up, I want to go this one, and then this one and this one. Okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Okay? So first I'm here and I want to take this cable and move it to here. So I am going, and I'm going to do treble crochets because I'm moving it quite a ways. I'm moving it over by 2 stitches. So I want to make sure that it's got room to move, right? So this one is going, and I still did the post stitch just like before, but that one is going over there. See that? Now it's crossed all the way over. Now the next stitch I want to do is this one because I want to keep those 2 together. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. Treble. Okay, easy enough. That's just like moving the cables like we did before, right? Now we get to crossing them, and here's where you have so many different options. The first option is to do these stitches over the top of these stitches. That's the easiest because you don't have to finagle your hook in anywhere, so let's do that one first. The next cable I want to pick up is this one. Okay, and again, this used to be stitch number 1 out of the 4, and now it's stitch number 3 out of the 4, so it's moving 2 stitches over. And that's how I know that I'm doing it right. All my cables are moving over by 2 stitches. Okay, there, and then we pick up this one again, and it's in front. Everything's in front of the other cables, and I'm just doing my front post stitch, right? Okay, so that is a very simple cross. Okay, and that would be called a left cross. In fact, I would probably call it a 2 over 2 left cross because the cross looks like it's crossing over to the left because those were the ones that were on top. Okay, now let's make this a right cross. Instead of crossing over to the left, we want to cross over to the right. That does not mean we work the stitches in a different order. What it means is instead of these 2 being on top, we want them to be underneath. So instead of picking them up over the top, let's pick them up from underneath. And this is a little harder, we're going to do our yarn overs, right? And then instead of going over those stitches, we're going to come under those stitches with our hook. Okay, so we've gone under those stitches. Now we go around the post of this stitch, and I like to pull it out because I feel that's easiest, right? So now we've got it underneath those, and we do our treble crochet. See how that's settled underneath those now? Let's see that one more time with the next one. 2 yarn overs, stick your hook underneath the crossing ones, and then pick up this one like you normally would, and I like to come out on top here just so I can see everything. Okay, and finish your stitch. And then settle it all, and you have a, let me get the single crochets in here just to even it out, and now you have a right cross. It's the same thing, it's 2 over 2, but now these stitches went underneath, and so you have a right cross, right? Now you can get even more creative. You can bring one of these stitches underneath and one over, right? So let's do this one underneath. And I don't even know what I would call this. This would just be a special cross. And then let's do this one over, okay? Now you get kind of a woven effect, right? But we're still working with these two as a group. What if we split that up too? Now here, this is a little trickier. If you had trouble with the under, you're going to have trouble with this one a little bit, but practice makes perfect. And don't drop your stitches like I just did. There we go. Okay, so these are my 2, right? The first 2 haven't changed. We're still working them the way we were. So now I'm going to do my next one, but let's say I want it to go over this one and under this one. Okay, so over that one, but then under this one. And now I pick up that stitch and pull it out where I want it. See how it's between those 2? And then I finish that. And now for the next one, let's flip it the other way. Let's go, I'm splitting the yarn, I'm sorry. I've worked this yarn to death. All right, so now for the next one, let's go under this one and over that one. So 2 yarn overs, under this one, over that one, and pick it up. And I still pull it out from the one that it's under, okay? And go like that. Finish my stitch. Now wiggle it all into place, finish my single crochets to kind of settle everything down. And look at that. You have a basket weave cross. Isn't that neat? The cross itself has little crosses within it. So there's so much you can do depending on whether you're going over, under, around, what you're doing. But the idea of making cables cross is to work them in a different order. It's the same thing as knitting. When you're doing cables and knitting, what you're doing is you're working stitches in a different order, right? Same thing here. Instead of working 1, 2, 3, 4, we worked 1, 2, 3, 4. And you can change up the order. You can do many different cables. You can cross them any way you want them to, depending on whether you go over or under. But the basic bottom line of cables is that you're working them out of order so that they cross over each other. Okay, that is all I have for you as far as a demo today. I don't see any comments from anybody. Oh, hi Beth, you found me, yay! I am so sorry. Is the video clearer now that it's not? Because I was getting a lot of artifacts on my end when I was trying to do both streams at once. I feel like it came across clearer this time, so I'm hoping it did. I'm hoping everybody else has that experience too. Does anybody have any questions on the cable demo or anything like that? I haven't figured out on here to see how many people are watching on YouTube. So hopefully that made sense for everybody. And oh, there it goes. I see. Okay. So hopefully that made sense for everybody. And that is all I have this week. Have a good week. Be kind to yourself. Beth, it was about the same. Shoot, I gotta figure out a way to make it where I can switch my views like that but still not get it grainy when I'm doing the demo. I'll take a look at the video later and see if it's worth it. Maybe I'll switch to just Facebook. Maybe YouTube's the problem. Anyway, we'll figure it out and I will post about it either way. And thank you so much for watching. Be good to yourself, have a good weekend, and I will see you next week. Bye.